Good morning, Mandy. How are you?
Good, and you?
Great. Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me again on this lovely, lovely Monday morning. After an amazing thunderstorm last night, my goodness, I thought we were going to blow away. And with all the celebrations for Diwali and the thunder and the lightning, it was really quite something. So I was very relieved, as I mentioned to you, to have Aon for my animals. And if for those that are interested, fortnight ago we just the value of Aon patches for animals. But today, Mandy, we'd love to talk a bit more about the business opportunity, how how Lifewave is such an amazing opportunity for people, whether it be part-time or full-time, to create an income by helping people with this amazing Lifewave patch.
Janet, I think one of the hardest things at this point in time is to convince people that the pyramid scheme, as they refer to it, has got so much potential. I think so many people out there view it in a really bad light. And I think an understanding is really important of what it is that you're getting involved in. Because I think for many, they feel it's like a cash cow. So they want to come in, they want to sell a few products, and they want to earn a hell of a lot of money in the beginning. And I think that's where it gets most people, is that you're not going to have that happen. There are people out there that come into this industry, but they are like one in a million. They are firecrackers. They've understood this industry. They understand it's based on sales, and they just hit the ground running. But most of us come in with lives, with jobs, with kids, with so much happening around us that it's sometimes not something that we can take on in that way. So, network marketing is referred to as a side hustle for a reason, because it's something that you build alongside what it is that you do. However, it does require large amounts of your time. Like, people think that they can come into this industry and they can just wing it. Well, you cannot. You cannot come into this business and just thumbsuck what you think you should know and run with that. So it does require a lot of personal growth. It does require some skills. You've got to learn how to run your business, how to look at your business as a business. And I think the other misconception of this wonderful industry is that you can treat it like a hobby. Well, you can't. If you want to treat this industry as a hobby, then you're going to be paid hobby money. And I think this is where most people look at our industry very negatively. I mean, I cannot tell you the amount of people that I speak to, Janet, on a day-to-day basis who go, oh, is it that thing? And I go, I was one of those haters. I can tell you that now. I've been involved in many, many network marketing companies purely because of my wellness practice, but I've always only looked at the product. I've never, ever looked at the business. I was not interested because I was introduced to network marketing some 35 years ago when I lost weight on a shake. And because I'd lost so much weight and because people around me saw me lose that weight, that was my success. That was my story. So I had a great story at the time and I just let rip and I sold shake like a crazy person. But what happened was, the saddest thing is that at that time, because no one really showed me the true essence of this industry, I ended up just selling shake like a crazy person. And then I just got really tired of doing that. But also what stopped me in my tracks, and you're going to laugh, I landed up going to a very big convention in one of the big towns. And I walked into this auditorium with all these happy people, lights and music, and I always call it the rah, rah, rah band. And I looked at all of this and I thought, they're a cult. They're all nuts. What they're getting so excited about? I mean, I'm like a very atypical person. I'm very driven. I'm very work related. I don't like to be put in a position where I'm put on like a stage or anything. So I didn't like any of that. I really didn't like any of that. And I just said, you know what? I think this is going to go pear for me. I'm out of here. And it was interesting because I was almost right at the top of the ranks. I was going on a trip on a boat. I gave that up, and I just said, I'm not going to do this. I don't understand this. This is too much for me. So I'm saddened, because if I tell you, if I had taken someone's hand and someone had said to me, let me show you the ropes, Mandy, I reckon I wouldn't be sitting speaking to you, Janet. I'd be sitting under some
100%.
beautiful coffee with a beautiful cocktail in my hand with my feet in the water or the sea. So I think the understanding of this industry is exceptionally important. And I'm really, for me, I want to really amp up that for people. And I really want to share with people that this business is truly beautifully positioned and set up to help people have a life, really have a life. So I think, but there is some learning, like anything. I always say, are doctors allowed to, use a scalpel in the beginning? Your first year, you go, right, guys, here's your scalpel, off you go, open up a cadaver and, let rip, have a ball, do whatever it is that you think you used to. No industry has that happen in the first year. So you're going to be learning a hell of a lot about the business. I mean, our product is really easy to learn, but there's so much more to our businesses today, Janet, than what there ever was 35 years ago when I started. There was no social media. There was nothing like StreamYard, which you could connect with billions around the world. So I think, people need to have a full understanding of that, but it's an incredible industry. It really is.
I think I agree with you 100%. Multi-level marketing has had quite a bad rap because of the misunderstanding. And for many, they ask the question, is this a pyramid scheme? And ultimately, if you look at any of the corporations out there, most companies are pyramid schemes with the CEO sitting at the top and all the workers at the bottom doing the work, which provides the shareholders with the venture at the end of the day. And also for me, ethically, for a pyramid scheme is also got that negative connotation that it's going to be ripping people off or it's illegal. Now, ethically, I would never, ever be involved in an illegal business opportunity, let alone share it with others. And I think that people have a right to be skeptical because there are people out there. But that's where it's important to do your homework and to understand that multi-level marketing is basically a ready-made corporation where a company that produces the product is allowing the products to be distributed with no middlemen in the middle, and that is where the people can then make the income. So I really think that doing a little bit of in-depth research into what multi-level marketing is will give people the understanding that the advantages surmount the disadvantages. And together with a really, really good product that you can put into the marketplace that's going to help people to enhance their well-being, to help their aging process, to help their quality of life. What a better gift to give the community out there. And at the same time, having an income for yourself to allow you to have a better lifestyle financially as well.
Absolutely. Well, let me expand on that pyramid scheme that everyone refers to. So you did touch on it with regards to corporate. I mean, there is not a corporate industry out there or company out there that is not a pyramid scheme. It's exactly what you said, Janet. It's the CEO, the senior executives, and all the worker bees below. And how many of the worker bees end up years later giving so much energy to this company and leaving with a pittance? Because that's what it is. So what network marketing offers you is the same amount of energy you would go and put into someone else's business, but you're going to be putting that energy into your business and you become the CEO. So people say, oh, yeah, but you know what, Mandy, I don't want to work with people and I don't want to manage people. Well, you know what do you want to do? You want to be managed. So if you want to be managed, no problem. Go into a work environment, work from 8 until 5, listen to your boss. You don't get the opportunity to have an extra day on your holiday when you think, you know what, oh, it's so nice, you know what, I've got bucks in the bank, I'm going to keep the fare here for one day. No, because your boss is saying, excuse me, hello, time is ticking, can you get back to work? Because they've been pushed by the top notches. So I think people have to understand, what is it that you want? Most of us are working for the carrot that's dangling in front of us. That's all we're doing. We're not working for freedom of time. We're not working that we can spend more time with our families, that we can work from home, and we can set aside our working environment and time that we would like to do.
Yeah.
I must tell you that I've been in a corporate environment, I've been in my own business, and I'm forever grateful from what I've learned up until this point, so that I fully understand the luxury that I have now. No overheads. I don't pay anyone, no one's working for me, no employees. I don't have to take that stress. And I'm simply working with other like-minded individuals. And I think that is a big thing people have to get over, is I don't want to work with people and manage people. So you find the people that want to do this, Janet. You and I both know there are people that come into what we're doing and they come for 2 or 3 days and think, oh, no, it's too much work. I don't want to do this. And we say, okay, fine. But there are a hell of a lot in our team. We're already 85 people that are understanding this incredible technology, very unique product, and wanting to share it, like you've just said, with the world. So I think people need to, that's my passion, is to fully explain to people and let them understand exactly the potential. However, it is easy. It is simple, not easy. It is simple, not easy. You've got to still get off your bum and go out there and start selling. And you know, this business of sharing, we don't share anything, we sell. I think that fallacy must also go past, because many people say, well, you know, you share this and I share this. No, yes, we share on just out of I think, because it's such an amazing product, like we've said, Janet, how can we not share the information with people?
Okay,
that was what we need to say, share information with people. We don't share the product. Yes, we may give 1 or 2 products to someone, but if you continue to do that, you'll make no money. So that's also stupid. So I think you do need to have, you do need to look at this as a business. You do need to put time aside for this business.
Yeah, so
you're having our business meetings now on a Saturday at 3:30. Why do we have those business meetings? Because it's actually running our business. We're learning to grow our business.
It's basically
and in so doing, we are going to be able to be skilled up, ready to rock and roll in the future. And that's really because you've got to have knowledge in this industry. You can't just come into this industry with no knowledge.
The crowns. Yeah, and
agreed 100% again.
And then I go back again, and then the dentist.
Magic about Lifewave is that they have already got so much of the marketing tools available for us, the business tools available for us. So you can reach it from globally.
Yes,
you can work in your home, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You have a website.
Yeah, because I am over my self-payment gap, so I'd like to take advantage.
The product, the business opportunity. So coming into it, you're not having to spend hours and hours and money on creating that marketing material. It's pretty much
wonderful. I appreciate
there for you. And then the mentoring, as you say, our team, we're having business meetings, there's mentoring, there's so much available for us to hold your hand, the person who joins our business. Unlike when you started with your previous one, where you were floundering and had somebody been there to take you by the hand through the step-by-step process, then you may not be sitting here talking to me today, but luckily you are, because you're the most amazing mentor to me, and I'm learning so that I can mentor my people in my team in the same magnitude and amazing way that you are teaching me, and direct them to where all the tools are to help them on that journey. And for me, also understanding that work is required, and the only place that you find money before work is in the dictionary. And realistically, I think if you look at anything, if you buy a McDonald's franchise, you're not going to be making your R1 million investment overnight. It's going to take you at least 3 to 5 years, if not longer. And I think that's the understanding that as a business owner, there is investment. But with this business, you will be getting returns that you can reinvest into your business, into your personal development programs. And if you work well with your money, you can set aside some for living costs, and you can set aside some for business costs, and you can set aside a savings for you for family time and holidays, and basically rewarding you for the hours that you maybe are putting, well, you should be putting into the business that's taking you away from your family. But realistically, you can work in your home, so you can work surrounded by your family. And you can still work when you go away on holiday. You can spend a couple of hours a day to consistently keep the ticking over so that you can grow your business, because it is, speak about a bit about the momentum of this business, Mandy.
I wanted to share something that has just come to mind about if people want to truly understand the pyramid scheme. You take yourself as an individual, Janet, and you do your work. You can only do so much. I can only see so many clients in a day. I can only, go to so many places in a day. Now, so if I look at my business and I only did it without my team, I'd only be able to sell, and I'd only be able to have that income coming in of what I did every single day. Now, because I have 83 people that are building the business and I have 1,000 people in my organization, what do you suppose is happening? Okay, it is encouraging that income more than I could ever do. And if I decide to take a day off, I still get paid. And that's the difference. And I think that's the luxury that people need to understand about the pyramid, is people are going to work in your favor. Whilst you don't want to be working for the day, you can take the day off, but you still get paid because everyone else is doing their job. They're seeing someone new, they're visiting another company, they're bringing someone in because they've got pain or whatever the case may be. So I think people need to look at that totally different. But on the momentum side, if you look at the time frame, which many don't understand about network marketing, the first year you are learning everything. Yes, you can make money, but it's really about the understanding and putting the foundation of what it is that you need to do. You know, Janet, how I sat with you, we did your social media platforms. You've now got your own website. So you put all of those things in place because you need to look like a business. Most big businesses have a YouTube account, they've got their website, they've got their social media platforms. This is how they get it out there. This is how they create awareness. So once that's done, you need to get that momentum going. But that's the first year of your business, just learning the skills, all the skills and tools that you've got available at the moment, and we've got an abundance. The second and third year, you are going to start to make an encouraging income. This could be enough depending on your activity. For instance, Janet, you know how much activity I do, and I know how much activity you do. You're not earning as much as what I am. Why? Because the activity is less. It's plain and simple. It really is. It's not rocket science. So at the end of the day, how much activity and how much input you're putting in is how much you're going to get out. So that's the second and third year. So you may be able to leave your job because you're earning enough, because the activity is enough on the side for you to do that. But also remembering that we don't want to leave too soon, because we know that as we're growing, our businesses go up and down and up and down. And that also freaks people out because they want that standard salary. They want to know that if they need 20,000 or 30,000 Rand a month, that is coming in on an ongoing basis. And unfortunately, you'll have customers that buy, you'll have brand partners that start and don't continue. It is what it is. That's the nature of the business. So that's the second and third year. Your third and fifth year, you're going to start tripling your salary. That's if you're putting in the work. And now the third and fifth year, you need to be pouring into your brand partners like yourself, Janet. I sat with you, I'm helping you, I mentor you. And that's what is really important when people think like, oh, I don't want to do that. But in all honesty, once you've got yourself up a few notches, what is so bad about helping the next person up a few notches? I don't understand it. But I also think there's a very fine line by dragging someone up those notches or hopping with that person up those notches. I'm not interested in dragging anyone, but I'm really happy to hold your hand and we can hop up those ranks together if you're doing the work. So I think that's also plays a very important role in how people perceive our industry. And then year 7, well, you can say like 5 to 7 and 7 onwards, you become an expert. And what you can do here is your business doesn't have to stop. You don't necessarily need to pour yourself into your business as you did in year 1. But what you can do is you become a person who inspires and keeps your team kind of motivated at times and brings in some new ideas. But not only that, Janet, you've got so much experience. You could write a book. You could create a training scenario where you could teach people how to look at network marketing differently. This is what's done many, many times. We just had to look at Andrew Logan and his incredible book, The Way Out. If it wasn't for Andrew Logan's book, I would not be in network marketing anymore. I can tell you that now. That book was so beautifully written and so easy to understand that for me, it was just, that was the cherry on the cake. Yeah. So I think that's how you can, and then what you need to do is, Janet, which is really important. So many people are making so many money at the end when they become an expert, they're just spending it like crazy. And it's not meant to be spent. So what happens is there's 4 quadrants in what Robert Kiyosaki talks about. There is activity, leverage, business, and investment. The first one is activity, and that's what we do in the beginning. There's so much activity. We're talking to everyone, learning, evolving. And then it moves to the leverage, where you start to connect with like-minded individuals who are going to come on board with you. They love the idea. They want to change their lifestyle. They want to be able to travel more. They want to buy a new car. They want to put the kids through varsity. And then what you do is you start pouring yourself into them, and then you move to that business quadrant. Now, the business quadrant, you will see that most businesses run on their own. So you don't have a business until those leaders run on their own. They are bringing in people, they are signing up people, they are putting out their advertising, they are growing like crazy because they're putting in the work. Then your Lifewave business becomes a business. And up until then, you don't have a business until that is happening. And then from there, you'll see all these beautiful leaders just doing their work and bringing in people, and your organization is growing, and so is your income. Then you take that income and now it needs to work for you. And what Andrew Logan teaches us is put it into property, because when you put it into property, it starts working for you. That's when you have financial freedom. We don't have financial freedom when we are building our network marketing companies. That's just freedom of time. But if you want to become financially free, he told me once 11 homes, he's financially free. His assets are in
side.
Exactly. So this is where people don't have an understanding of this industry, and it's sad because I was one of those people, and the only reason why I know this now is because my personal growth in the last 2 years has been immense. If I didn't know something, I would go and find out, and I would always be learning from anyone that I could around me. And I'm also someone, Janet, that I won't listen to just everyone. I'm an atypical person, and I'm also a red. I'm a very red. I'm yellow and red. So I don't listen to anyone. And my character actually is that I don't listen to anyone. But the thing is that you find the little nuggets of gold that you are needing to grow your personal growth, or to feed your personal growth. And this is important. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. But as long as you stick into people who understand this industry and have got to the top, don't talk to people who have never ever built a network marketing business to the top, because they actually don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. I'm sorry. So, and don't listen to all the I call it the droning. Don't listen to the drone on the sides, because if I'd listened to all the droning on the sides, I would never have got to where I've got to. And that includes my husband.
The naysayers.
That's including my husband, who kept on saying to me, this is never going to work. You're wasting your time, blah, 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 blah. But because I've got these wonderful shields on either side of my ears, and I always have, I'm not listening to anyone, and I'm doing what I need to do. And it's hard. It's really hard to do that, because you constantly have this negative banter next to you, like you're just wasting our time. You're not spending enough time with the family. You're not spending enough time with Skylar. It's really hard. But can I tell you, I pushed through, and 2 or 3 years later, I earn a substantial salary. I mean, I earn anything between 40 or 60,000 rand a month. That's a really substantial salary for someone. So I sometimes take time out of my family, but wouldn't you do that for a boss? Wouldn't you do that for a boss if you had to catch up on work? It's the same thing. So your consistency and your discipline has to be there if you really want to grow this business. But we also know, Janet, that we've only started. Okay, we've only started our team. You know, I started with my team, we were 5. We were 5 people in my team. And now we're 83 people in my team. And it's not going to stop. The momentum is always going to be there.
100%. I do think that it's really important to have a reason why, to know your reason why when you're putting in the work, to understand and have a plan and to have goals. And I think that's something that we'll spend some time on in one of our next lives, where we can talk about how to actually plan your future and not just leave it to chance.
Absolutely, Janet. I am exceptionally clear on where I go, and it's the only reason why I stay in this industry. My one why is my son, because I will leave a legacy for him to step into. And my other why is me, because you are not supposed to have a why for anyone else. Your why must truly be for you. I want to be able to, at any moment, I want to be able to buy a plane ticket, and I want to be able to fly wherever I want, and I want to be able to buy whatever I want. If I truly have to be honest with myself, I want to be able to do exactly what I want when I want, without any issues. I think, for me, I'm a really hard worker, and up until this point, I've always fallen short of the glory, if I can share that with you. And I'm tired of it. So, when I went through the books with Andrew, and when I did my training with him, it was actually quite funny, Janet. When I actually had my little interview live with Andrew, he actually shared something with me. When I came and I sat with him, when you have an interview with Andrew in the beginning to become part of his course, he has first little interviews with someone else, and then the next interview is with him. And when him and I chatted, I knew exactly where I wanted to go and exactly what I wanted to do. So there was actually no need to have a discussion, because I just needed the training that was required for me to get to where I was going. And he said, that actually put him a little bit off kilter, because he wasn't prepared for someone who was so determined and knew exactly.
Vision.
Yeah, totally clear vision. And I think that's what really keeps me going. And I think if people sit down with themselves and are honest with themselves, one gentleman actually asked someone at one of the conferences and said, what is it that what is your why? And she said, oh, no, it's my daughter and this and the next thing. And eventually he boiled it down to that's not your why. Your why eventually ended up for her being that she had never, ever achieved anything in her life. She just never, she started something and she would never finish it. And he said, well, that's your why. Now you need to finish. This will be your one biggest achievement in your life, is to finish this and get to the top and have that accolade. So I think it'll be different for everyone, but it certainly shouldn't be for anyone else but yourself. What you feel in your heart that you want to do this for is the thing that will keep you in this business the longest.
And I also believe that everybody should have an open mind, look at this opportunity. It may be for them, fabulous. It may not be for them. That's also okay. And it might also be timing. At this point in time, maybe they can't see themselves putting in the extra time, but circumstances change. And, COVID was a very big lesson for all of us, in that it taught us that actually you should look at having more than one stream of income, where you are able to support yourself and not be totally reliant on that one. And that's, for me, this opportunity is favorable to me. I have been a stay-at-home mom. I've been out of corporate for several years. Now the time is for me to actually build a business My children have left home. And just like you say, you can get on a plane at any time of the day, or any time when you choose to. But I have one daughter who's living abroad, and who knows what life holds. So she's settled there. She'll most probably have children one day. I'd love to be a grandmother. But I'd like to be able to get on the plane to go and support her. And that comes with financial freedom. And I think that is one of my big whys. And that is for me, not for her. It's for me that I have that. I don't have to feel deprived of certain parenting, mother privileges because my child lives in another country.
Absolutely. And you know what else I want to share is age is just a number in this industry, which is what I love. So we've got a wonderful lady in our team. Her name is Christine, who's in her 70s. And she has just catapulted her business. She has been such a star she's still learning how to post, but she's so determined. And her and I had a little chat, and her why is the same as mine is, I just want to accomplish something. I want to be able to say, that's what I did. You know, I really achieved the success. She's also been in network marketing like me, but she never got there. She just never, she always fell short of the glory, like, you know, with me as well. So I think, you know, her and I both said, this is our last crack at this. This is our last, and it doesn't matter that I mean, you know, like Chris also said, you know, he doesn't want to be an astronaut. He can't be an astronaut. You know, he doesn't want to be a fighter pilot. Like Janet said, this might not be for you. This is not what you see yourself doing, and it is okay. But if